We're going to simplify this fraction, but if you remember, you can't simplify a fraction over addition or subtraction because you can't cancel things. The only way you can cancel is if there's multiplication. So we want to turn this addition problem into a multiplication problem, and to do that, we factor. So we're looking before and after the plus sign for what could be taken out. 15 is made out of 3 times 5, and 5 root 3 is 5 times root 3, so there's a 5 in common to both of those. So if I take out a 5, 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 5 root 3 divided by 5 is just the square root of 3. Now you can redistribute to verify. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, and 5 multiplied by root 3 is 5 root 3. But now that the numerator is written as a multiplication problem, I can cancel this 5 with the 35 in the denominator, and 5 fits into 35 7 times. So the only thing that I have left now in the numerator is the 3 plus root 3, and in the denominator I have 7. Okay, so let's do one more like that one. Okay, so we can't simplify the fraction unless there's multiplication. So looking before and after this plus sign, 4, negative 4, and 2 root 2. 4 is made out of 2 times 2, and this is made out of 2 times root 2, so they both have a 2 in common. So I'm going to take a 2 out. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. 2 root 2 divided by 2 is just root 2. You can redistribute to verify. I have 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times root 2 is 2 root 2. But now I've turned the numerator into multiplication, so I can cancel with the 12. So this 2 out front cancels. 2 fits into 2 one time, and 2 fits into 12 6 times. What I have left in my numerator is just this negative 2 plus root 2. And in the denominator, I have 6. Okay, now, sometimes there is one extra step. Before I get started on turning the numerator into multiplication, the square root of 75 is not simplified. So you want to make sure your roots are simplified. I'm going to start off here just to emphasize that I'm coming over here off to the side to simplify the root 75. So I'm going to make a factor tree out of 75. 3 times 25 is 75. Bring down the 3 because it's prime. 25 is 5 times 5. And then simplifying the square root of 75 is just a little scratch work. I can turn the 75 into 3 times 5 times 5. And when you simplify a square root, remember you need 2 of a kind to take a number out. So I have a pair of 5s under there. So I'm going to take a single 5 out. The 3 doesn't pair up with anything, so it's trapped underneath. So I have 5 root 3. So the next thing I'm going to do is turn this square root of 75 into 5 root 3, because that's the simplified version of 75. So I'm keeping the 20, but just turning that root 75 into 5 root 3. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do, I'd like to simplify the fraction, and I need to turn this into a multiplication problem. So looking at 20, which is 4 times 5, and 5 root 3, which is 5 times root 3, they both have a 5 in common. So I'm going to factor out a 5, and if I take a 5 out of 20, 20 divided by 5 is 4, and I take a 5 out of 5 root 3, I have left root 3. We can redistribute to verify. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times negative root 3 is negative 5 root 3. But now that I've turned the numerator into multiplication, I can cancel with the denominator. So having 5 times what's in parentheses over 5, the 5's can cancel. 5 over 5 is 1. And then going straight across, I don't have anything in my denominator anymore. I mean, technically I have a 1, but divided by 1 is itself. So all I have left in this whole thing is 4 minus root 3. And that's my final answer. So make sure you have simplified any root that's in the fraction. Then after you've simplified the roots, look for what's in common. Factor that out so that you can cancel with the denominator.